And we're back like we never left again. What's up, bro?
Hey, what's going on, man? How you doing?
Man. Weather changing.
Oh
Getting
yeah,
cold, man.
it's getting cold. It's getting
man.
cold in Texas.
Man, listen, being from the Midwest, everybody tell you, oh, why you ain't cold? Like, first off, I moved.
Right.
I'm not still there. I'm not still there for a reason, man.
Right.
So, but sometimes you want to stay warm. You want to have somebody to keep you warm.
Yeah.
So
For real.
We gonna have this first rep and things like that, man.
Right.
So when you think about relationships in sports, bro, what's some successful relationships that you've seen in the sporting world from people? It's not. I have to be honest. It's not a whole lot that you see the longevity.
Eddie George, bro. I had to go in my thinking cap for that one because I think his lady was a music music. She SWV. Is that right?
Yeah. And then you had
That's his wife.
Grant Hill.
Grant Hill, yeah.
You got Grant Hill in the sporting world. The people who had successful relationships. Now, why do you think that their relationships stay successful? We're gonna jump to a whole lot when it comes to relationships. But what do you think is the key there?
Man, balance, bro. Like I'm always going to go always back to balance. It's just you have to find you somebody that understands your life, right? Like you understand her life and she understands your life, because sports is tricky because it's seasonal. And when people think seasonal, guess what they think? It's only for those 4 months.
Yeah, it's all year round. If you playing at the highest level, this is your life.
This is your life.
You have to do it. And you got to have somebody who understands this is your life.
Yeah, you can't go to McDonald's and eat at fast food restaurants every day. You have to have somebody that's going to be at home cooking your meal, that's going to be suitable for your body composition, or if you're trying to lose weight or gain weight, you got to make sure that they understand that you can't go around eating pasta every night. You got to make sure they can make you some greeneries. You got to have a mixture of foods, right? Then on top of that, they got to know, hey, I got to go see the trainer today. I got to go work out in the weight room, or I got to go work with my skill trainer, or I got to go get, stretched out, or, whatever it may be. I mean, you got to have somebody that understands that and you understand them. And I think that's going to be critical. And if you look at, Grant Hill, and we talked about, Eddie George, man, I mean, he got a musician as a wife, so
both of them have musicians.
Oh yeah. I forgot about that. Yeah.
And so that's what we're gonna talk about: the power of partnership.
Partnership is very important. Yes,
sir. And that's just a regular journey. That's finding somebody that balances you. So here's a discussion I have with my wife, and it's gonna be touchy too, because now we got to deal with race too.
Okay.
Because you typically, when you fall in love with somebody, you fall in love with someone who you are around.
Right.
You fall in love with someone that's in your environment. Somebody that's typically they're in your environment, they're in your tax bracket. So why do you think, and it's going to be touchy, I'm going to say it though.
Okay.
That the attention to, because I've seen a lot of this over the past weekend where you had the gentleman from the Redskins propose to his girlfriend on the sideline.
Okay.
Black athlete, white woman.
Okay.
Why do you think that it's such a big deal when it comes to black men dating white women inside of our community, inside of the black community? Why is that such a touchy subject? I know.
I would say, man, majority of the time it's just most of these young men go to college, right? And what's the chance? I mean, I'm not saying a lot of black women don't go to college.
Actually, majority of black people women, in college are black women. That's
majority. And that's a fact.
Mm.
And when you looking at that, I'm not saying the fact that they're not on campus. It's just the fact who's around those athletes majority of the time. Like, you may see a couple black girls in college at some parties here and there, but in reality, these young men, like I've been with my wife since high school, right? Mm-hmm. And that's the difference. You've been with your wife since high school. Yeah. So what's the chances of that happening? Right? It's rare.
Especially for athletes.
Yeah, for athletes. So when you're looking at this spectrum of these young men marrying these white women, it's no disrespect. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just that's who they see majority of the time. Because you said it first, right? Who you around majority of the time, and who's going to treat you the way you wanted to be treated, and understanding that balance between sports and life, but also. And just bring
the lifestyle.
The lifestyle, because the lifestyle is different. I mean, because you got to have somebody that's going to understand you as an individual athlete. And majority of the time, the ones that's already around them understand it. They either trainers, man, shoot, cheerleaders, or, you know,
coaches' daughters.
I mean,
No,
shoot,
like that,
just
that's
being
what
honest.
happens.
I mean, the money gonna repeat
There
itself. So it's like,
There was a story,
and then status
yeah.
too.
There was a story about an athlete, and I'm gonna give names, but my son's former coach has kids in college,
Okay.
and of an athlete from his current school sending her a DM, and that athlete was dismissed from the program.
Ooh.
It was a very. I'll show you that off of here.
Okay.
What he
Okay.
said, but it was very graphic. What he sent to her,
Yeah.
and things like that, and like so you have that too, where this coach's daughter doesn't go to that school either, so he sought her out to do that.
Yeah.
And so like people have to understand that it's not just those things that go on. It's like you gotta toe the line too of who you're dealing with too. You can't just be like, okay, I play sports. He'll understand me just reaching out to him. Like, no, you can't. You don't work that, man. So
that got to be first, like lock eyes and like, Dad, and coach.
Yeah, when I show you what he said, you gotta be like, oh crap, man.
I feel him on that though, man. I feel him on that. It's just like it's your player. It's like, okay, like I recruited you, I got you on my team, and this is my payback.
Now you trying to recruit my daughter.
Now you trying to recruit my daughter? Like, what's up with that, bro?
It's
you
not
a football player, man.
It's not a good thing, and I hope and pray that more athletes do not do things like that, because he's a good man. I really like him as a coach. He's a good man, but he don't deserve to have to deal with that, on top of the job. But like, so finding the right partner though, so what are some of the things that these athletes, when it comes to, because you got guys like LeBron, been with his wife since high school. But then you got people like Kevin Durant, who played the background with any relationship. You don't know anything about Kevin Durant.
You don't.
You just know he liked the hoop. That's all. The only thing you know. You don't know back. You don't know if he got kids. You don't know anything about him. No. So you got people like that. You got the Russell Westbrook, who met their wife in college and things like that. So what is it? How do they find this partner or find this person who can help them be balanced emotionally and things like that? So what is it that they should be looking for?
Hi, I'm Shane with Restore Hyper Wellness right here in Murphy, Texas. I'm proud to say we're partners with Grindhouse Sports Training just next door in Wiley. Now, Coach Washington over at Grindhouse Sports Training has done a phenomenal job at not just building out a business in the community, being a pillar in the community, but also being an inspiration to the young, talented kids that he trains each and every day. Now, last year, Coach Washington started a podcast, a Grindhouse podcast. The links are below. I encourage each and every one of you to go check this out. Listen to it, like it, enjoy it. Coach Washington will walk you through his personal experiences, what motivates him, what made him what he is today, and why he's so effective at being a phenomenal leader to these young, talented individuals. Check out the podcast. We'll see you soon.
She wasn't an easy catch.
Yeah.
That's all I can really say, right? Just coming up, she's not. You got to understand that a female that's not an easy catch is always going to be a catch for somebody that's looking for stability, right? Most of these young men don't know what they don't know. They're athletes. They want to go pro. That's what they really know. They want to go pro. They want to buy their mom a house, dad a house, and financially put themselves in the best position. So when you play in a sport and you find that right person, and that right person saying, "Nah, I'm not messing with no athlete."
Because I know you already bringing trouble.
I'm not messing with no athlete. You're like, what? What you mean? So that athlete's gonna do whatever he can to make sure that she recognizes him, because he's used to being seen.
Yeah,
used to being that guy in the paper, on the news, highlights. You see my highlights? No, I don't know who you are.
Yeah, and I think on the previous episode we talked about retirement. And you see a lot of athletes get divorced.
Correct.
Once they retire.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so why do you feel like why is that a big thing? Why are divorce rates so much higher once you retire?
Remember what I just said. The guy is out there doing what? He's trying to identify something that don't want him. Mm-hmm. But when they do become in a relationship,
She okay with spending his money when she don't spend that time?
She's okay with that part. I mean, she's okay. Okay, well, he's on the news. He's in the paper. He has holidays every week.
But
let me enjoy it. But then you start to find different things out as you go along this process. And I just feel like, man, genuinely, you'll know when that person is there. I mean, you're gonna feel it all over that person is for you. I think a lot of guys feel it in other places.
Yeah. You feel like that's the reason why we said it's gonna be touchy. Do you feel like that's the reason why you have so many people cheating on the road? And like they're using, like, I got the emotional stability at home, but I don't see her. So I got to get it in.
Yeah. I mean, just being honest. I mean, you just got a lot of guys that can't hold back.
Yeah.
And I'm on the road. I got millions of women throwing themselves at me. And it's like when you an athlete, you got to be careful because. I mean, you don't know these women, man. I mean, I see so many people getting hit with all these different lawsuits and all this stuff down the road, 10, 20 years down the road. It's like, was it worth it? Like, that's...
Someone might say...
Well, in reality, I guess, I mean, some guys who barely, that bullet went past, like, ooh, that was close one,
It was worth it, man.
But for those guys that, that do things like that, that's their life, man. That's the life they choose. That's their stability. That's their comfort zone. So I would never, I ain't got nothing to do with that. It ain't me. So I just say for those guys that's doing that, just kind of think about, the long term, because you in a relationship you don't get married just for the moment. You get married for life. And those vows means a lot to me,
But here's the thing, and I'm gonna agree with you there, because I've been with my wife 18 years. You've been with your wife 23 years.
On 24 this year, yeah.
So you've been with your wife that long. I've been with my wife a long time too. But we can both agree that marriage is a business.
No doubt.
Marriage is a partnership. So for the people who get married for the business and the partnership, does that vow still mean the same thing to them? Because they may think, to me and you, thinking business and thinking partnership, thinking business, we hear those words and we think like, oh, I still love this woman though, things like that. But when it's expressed to you that marriage is a business and a partnership, that we're just gonna make this bread. I mean,
if most guys, so I'm not saying everybody got a mom and dad at home, but I'm fortunate I have both parents at home, and when I saw what my mom did to prep for when my dad came home, it was like, okay, this is the structure that I look for. This is what I need, to keep me balanced. Not saying my wife cook every day. I'm not saying she wash clothes. I'm not saying any of the typical things that you think as what men want. But I'm saying that, the stability that we have and the stability that a lot of people don't know what to look for. That's where it gets lost, man, because a lot of dudes are looking for a beautiful woman that's, 5'6", 5'7", whatever complexion, their taste, caramel skin, whatever it is, right? They're looking for this particular look. But I mean, she may not have been raised that way.
Her insides is ugly. We can say it out loud, but this ain't that type of podcast. Some people
keep it real,
ugly on the inside. You don't realize that because you're so blinded by
the looks.
And I think that's what happens with a lot of athletes, is that now I got my trophy and my trophy wife. And how important, and let's be honest, how important is the trophy wife? Because I'm gonna say this, and whatever, we ain't political. President has a trophy wife. The president-elect has a trophy wife. I don't know. I mean, he might love her, but let's be honest. But what it is what it is. It's I have a beautiful person on my arm, and so at what point does that become the overriding factor, that we need to have beautiful people around us instead of someone that you actually love? I'm not saying I ain't gonna lie, I ain't gonna marry no ugly person, but you know what I mean.
Right. I just think what I'm gonna say about this is having a trophy wife and having the beautiful kids, and not saying, I mean, it just, man, you got to sleep at night, bro.
Yeah, I sleep good.
So the cool thing about it is that when I go to sleep, bro. I don't think about nothing else. Right? So when you got to sit there and you got to worry about, is she out there cheating on me? Is she's out there, she just with me for the money? If those things are popping in your head,
then yes, she is.
Yeah, bro. Just being honest.
So let's go ahead and say it like this. So what's the red flags that these athletes need to be looking for, man? Because right now it seems like there's a lot of things. Like, so there's a certain athlete that's in the news right now, and everybody's getting on his case because he's saying that he loves this woman, and nothing's wrong. If that's not what he feels about her, that's what he feels, and I'm all for it. If you feel like nobody can see the love that I have for this woman,
Right.
but y'all gonna tell me that she's doing these things, but
experience,
because everybody can't be wrong.
Life experience. I mean, I just say for those people who, I mean, man, shout out to you, bro. Like, if this is what you love, this is what you love, and I wouldn't change. If this is who you want to marry, this is who you want to marry, bro. And you just, I mean, those signs are out there. Just gotta take heed of those signs. But if she's a changed woman and she's with you and she's not looking for no one else, then that's great. But at the same time, if you question it and you thinking in the back of your head, then big chances are that she is out there doing something different than what she's telling you. You just gotta. I've been with my wife almost 30 years, man. Like, 8th grade, we started dating. So think about 8th grade till now, bro.
Yeah.
Like, just everything that's changed. Social media, like, you got social media. We ain't never had a freaking social media, right? So when you're looking at all of this stuff that's going on in front of you, man, and she's giving you signs and, you feel it in your gut, and these just conversations you got to have, man. Those are hard conversations, but if you love her and she's truly for you, guess what? She's going to tell you the truth. She's going to tell you a lie, and she's going to be really good at it.
Yeah, I think the one thing that the advice I like to give, because, is making sure that you actually have a conversation every few years with your partner, and making sure y'all still on the same path. Because the thing about with any type of career, any type of change that happens, is you have to make sure that your relationship is healthy. I think me and you had a discussion over the years, plenty of times, where I'm like, you got to love that person, because once them kids gone, what you gonna do?
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Like I got to make sure I like the person. And I ain't even talking about love. I'm always gonna love her,
right?
But do I really like this person? And that's the hardest part. There is that people, like, you marry for love, but you stay with them because you like them.
And I think that's where a lot of guys get it all mixed up. Is that like when you play pro ball, you got hotel rooms, you got people that kind of you're walking around, they know that you're a professional athlete, and the girls are looking for you. And if the girls are looking for you, she's either out for one thing. She's seeing what type of money. She probably already did a background check. She already used Wikipedia to pull up your net worth. She's already done all of her homework. Her parents have taught her how to be a lady. They're educated, bro. Like, if you're not educated on your end, trust and believe the person that you're messing with is educated on who you are and how she was going to find you and make sure you fall in love with her, because she was going to give you everything you need. And when you don't know, when you're a victim to it, because you will find out when you sign that big contract, that $50-60 million contract, when she say, okay, I just don't feel like this is working, I think we need to go separate ways, and you got 2 kids by her, and that, or 3 kids by her. So you guys got to look at the bigger picture and understand that if for some people this is a game, which is your life, and you have to understand that, if this person is for me, you're gonna get all of the help that you need to make sure this person is for you, especially if you're a high caliber athlete.
Yeah. So I know on previous episode we talked about retirement, and the thing about it, we just talked about what happens a lot of times with relationships at retirement. How did your partner help you through when you knew it was over and it was the end?
Yeah.
And you're still together now. So how does she push you and help you through that period?
One thing she did say to me one time, she said, if you made it to the NFL, you can do anything. And I kind of like, oh, that makes a lot of sense. Like, so at the time, I think I was in education. I was just working as an educator, right? But in between my education, working as a teacher and, all the different journeys I went through high school, working in high school, I started just kind of doing different business adventures and stuff like that. I did real estate, I did property preservation, I did a lot of different things to kind of just get me ready for, today, So, just everything. She was there for me through when I had nothing to when I had a little bit until now. So it's like, if your woman is questioning or got issues about money, or y'all just fighting over a whole bunch of other stuff that doesn't matter, you have to take a deep dive evaluation of that relationship and make sure that that relationship is for you and for her, because sometimes people change when they get older, man, and people got different viewpoints and things they want to accomplish. And if the NFL journey ends, you retire and you got a lot of money put away and you want to go into broadcasting, and she's saying, hey, man, I want you at home more. You spent your whole NFL career playing football, and I can see you and the kids can see you. So now it's time to spend time at home. You need to figure out how to navigate that process and make sure that she understands that, this is who you are. And if she can't understand that person, then it's going to be tough, because that person is transitioning to become someone great too, either broadcasting or coaching or whatever. So it's just a transition, bro. Yeah. She got to be ready for that transition, as well as you need to be ready for her transition, because she held you up. You held her down, but at the same time, she was there for you. So now you got to be there for her.
And I think that's the key there with any relationship is really knowing that if you're truly partners, if you're truly a team, that whether it's big money, small money, no money, that y'all gonna be there for each other. And I don't feel like that is the thing. People, the richer and poor till death. That's not something I feel like the people really believe in.
No, I think people just marry because of looks, right? Yeah. And that's messed up when you marry because of looks. Looks shouldn't matter when you're basically giving your life over to a person and you're gonna be with them for the rest of your life. Because I tell my wife all the time, you with me to death. I'm not going nowhere. I'm not going nowhere. It's not worth it, man. Yeah. We look at this big picture of life, and we look at sports, and we're looking at how we're raising our kids, and we're there for our boys and our girls, and we're watching them succeed. And it's like, this is the win. Mm-hmm. We're winning, bro. Like, this is the win. No matter if we got money to pay bills or we don't got money to pay bills, guess what? We're going to find a way to make it all work. So that's how it works.
All right. Well, like I said, it was a nice, quick, good episode right here. Mm-hmm. We're gonna get this one last rep here. And so, and this hypothetical, because I know your oldest daughter's in a healthy relationship, things like that. Mm-hmm. Let's say she wanted to marry an athlete. Oh, I just threw a whole wrench in that. Okay. What's the advice you give your daughter who wants to marry an athlete? If that ever happened, either one of your daughters, they want to marry an athlete.
Just be honest. So if one of my daughters wanted to marry an athlete, I'm going to be able to see right through him. Mm-hmm. I'm going to know what he's for, what he's trying to do, where he's going, because I'm an athlete, right? Mm-hmm. But genuine people, we know genuine people because genuine people know genuine people, right? We didn't connect because we were just two eyeballs, right? Yeah. We connected because we were genuine people, and we had a reason, and God brought us together. So I feel like if the right man is for my daughter and she's an athlete and he's an athlete, I feel that, God is going to put that right person in her life. So if he becomes an athlete or he's not an athlete, mm-hmm. he's going to be the right one for her, even though they're going to go through their little ins and outs or spats or whatever you go through in a relationship. Mm-hmm. As long as he's not putting his hands on her, as long as he's treating her like a lady, as long as she's doing her portion to uphold that relationship and not pulling it down, I'm solid with that.
All right, y'all. We're going to end it with that, man. T, let them know where they can find us at, bro.
Hey, you can hit us up on Grindhouse ST on Instagram and Twitter. Also, the Grindhouse Sports Training on Facebook. All right. If you come out and support us, hey, just kind of take this. Subscribe or wherever that button is. Share. Subscribe, share.
Put some buttons up
so just subscribe and share. It doesn't hurt to just listen. Just take a listen. If you don't like it, they send it to someone else that may like it. I think we're giving a lot of good advice. We got a lot of stuff going on.
This wasn't even about sports, man.
Sports.
Listen, we old dudes who've been in this a long time, and trying to make sure that the world needs love. The world needs love. I'm getting it. It's great, man. But I ain't gonna spray paint it like some people we know. So with that, I don't know. All right, y'all. We'll leave y'all with that. All right. We'll see y'all later.
All right, peace. Love you guys.
This is Terrell Washington. Thank you for tuning in to the Grindhouse Podcast. If you are enjoying our show, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share our content on Spotify, Apple Music, and YouTube, and all other podcast platforms. Remember, you must grind and shine.